guys, my name is Kelly Dale and I'm owner of Off the Beaded Path located in Forest City, North Carolina. Today I'm going to show you how to make a new beaded bead. I'm kind of stuck on these beads, so just bear with me for a few weeks. In the next few weeks I'm going to actually start doing a few videos on some quick and easy Christmas gifts that you can make for the holidays that we have coming up. But today for the beaded bead you're going to need a 6-pound fire line, a size 12 beading needle, and then you can use any size seed bead that you want to make the beads. A size 11, 8, I'm going to use 6s just to show you, but I mean it's going to be a pretty good size bead. You can do 1 color, 2 colors, however many you want. You may just want to kind of watch the video through, see what the bead looks like, and then, you know, start picking colors and doing all the fun stuff that you can do with it. The thing I like about these beaded beads, you can do them individually and add them as spacers or put them on earrings or whatever you want to do. Or I'm going to show you how you can actually connect them together so that way you can make, say, a bangle bracelet or, you know, some longer earrings or whatever you want to do with these beaded beads. But sit tight and let's get started with the project. Okay, I have a needle threaded on one end of about half a yard of fire line. It doesn't take much to make one bead, but you'll need longer length if you want to do more than one bead. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start out and I'm going to pick up 4 beads. And I'm going to let these beads down near the tail. And I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to come back through all 4 beads coming from the tail up. Well, I let go of my tail. Hang on. Now, like I said, I'm going to use 2 colors just so that you can see how it works out and you'll be able to see the video better. You can do this in just 1 color and it's gorgeous. And again, I am using size 6 so that you can see them better. But I'm going to put a couple of knots in the thread, and then you'll have a little circle of beads like this. Then what I'm going to do is take my needle and go through 1 bead next to the knot. So when you do that, you'll have something like this. Now I'm going to switch to my second color. If you're going to do a single color, stay with the same color, but I'm going to pick up 1 and come through the very next bead in my circle of 4. Pick up 1, come through the next bead in the circle of 4. Basically what I'm doing is I am filling in the space between the 4 beads. Now, when I finish, I'm going to come through the last bead on the base, and then I'm going to step up through the first bead that I added in this round. So I'm going through the last bead and stepping up at the same time. So I'm actually going to go through 2 beads. So that now this is what I have. And you can see I've not cut the tail off yet because I'm using it to hold, because especially if you use all size 11s, you're going to have a tiny little work surface. Okay, I'm going to another color. You stay with the same color. This time I'm going to pick up 2 and come through the next bead sticking up, or my next orange bead, which would be the next bead that I had added in that round. Pick up 2. Come through the next bead. Pick up 2. Come through the next bead. And then pick up 2. And this time when I pick up the 2, I'm going to come through the last bead added in the round, and then I'm going to come through the first bead I added in this round. So I'm stepping up all at the same time. So this is what we have so far. Now, I'm going to start a peyote stitch, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up 1 and I'm going to come through the next bead sticking up, which is the very next bead. I'm going to pick up one orange, and I'm going to come through the next red sticking up over here. I'm not going through any orange of the previous section. I'm only going through the reds that I have sticking up. Pick up one, go through, and as you work, start to pull your tension pretty tight. And the reason being is as you work, especially this next round, you'll want it to start kind of pulling together and making a cup shape. Okay, so for this last one, I'm going to come through the last red and then up through the orange. And that way I will finish the round and step up at the same time. So now you see that you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 beads protruding, and this allows us to be able to start the peyote stitch. Now we're going to do 3 rounds of peyote stitch. So I'm going to pick up one red, come through the next orange. Pick up a red, come through the next orange. Pick up a red, come through the next orange. Red, through the next orange. And you can see a little bit as you work now that you're really starting to get that cup shape that you want to get. It's not entirely laying flat anymore. Okay, so I'm going through the 8th orange bead. This is my last one of the round, so I'm going to go through that one and then through the first red that I added in the round so that I'm finishing and stepping up at the same time. So now when I lay it down, you can see that it's not flat anymore. I have a cup shape, and that's exactly what you want as you start to work on your bead. You want that nice cup shape. Okay, so that was the first round of peyote stitch. So now I'm going to switch back to my next color. I'm picking up a bead, coming through the next red bead. And this time, you know, again, keep your tension pretty tight because we want to really pull that so that you get a nice dome shape. And if it helps to sit it down on the table and then hold your bead and pull tight, you can do that too. It's completely up to you. Now, if you want your bead to be longer, you can simply do more rows of peyote stitch. Okay, I'm to my last one, so I'm going to pick it up. I will go through the last red and then step up through the first orange that I added. So now I'm going to work on my last full row of peyote stitch, and as you can see, this is what I have so far. So I'm going to pick up a red and come through the next orange. And each time, I'm just picking up a red and coming through the next orange. And I'm pulling it nice and tight. Well, I have a knot in my thread, guys, so let me get the knot out and just continue going around in your peyote stitch. Okay, so now that I have the massive knot out, we'll continue. I went around and I'm to the last bead here, so I've picked up my bead. I'm going to come through the orange, and then I'm going to step up through that first bead added in the round, so that will finish out the last round of just regular peyote stitch. Okay, now we're actually going to start the decrease for the bead so that we can kind of close it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up a bead, and instead of just going through the one, I'm going to go through two. So I'm going to go through that one and that bead. I'm going to pick up one, and I'm going to go through two beads. Pick up one and go through two beads. And then I'm going to pick up one, and I'm going to go through the last two beads sticking up. And then we have to step up through the first bead that we added in this round. Okay, so that gives us 4 orange beads. So now I'm going back to my other color. I'm going to pick up one, and I'm going to go through just the one bead sticking up. I'm going to pick up one, and I'm going to come through the one bead sticking up. Okay, and so you can see how it's closing in now. And that's exactly what we want. Pick up one, come through the next bead sticking up, and then pick up one and come through the last orange sticking up. So that now I have the bead closed up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to step up through the first red, and I'm just going to go through those 4 red again a couple, can't hold on to it today, a couple of times, just going through and pulling those beads good and tight all the way around. So now, if you're just going to do the bead, it's a hollow bead. It has a hole straight through so that a needle or a head pin or whatever you want will go straight through it. Now, the biggest thing is if you just want to do one bead, then you're good to go ahead and do a couple of half-hitch knots and tie it off. This is with the 8s. This is what just size 11s look like. This is size 8s. I'm sorry, 6s, 11s, and 8s. So you can see the difference in the size beads there. Now, you can also see that on this one, I actually stitched different beads together. And it's really easy, and to do it, basically, you start out the same way. These 4 red beads here are going to be like we took 4 beads, tied them into a circle. So those are going to be our base. Then we simply pick up one bead and go through the next red. Pick up one, go through the next red, pick up one, go through the next red, and then pick up one, go through the next red, and then through the first orange bead. Okay, the next step was we picked up 2 red and go through the orange, 2 red, go through the next orange, 2 red, go through the next orange, and then 2 red. We go through the last orange and then through the first red that we added in the round. And then to get us started with our peyote stitch, we pick up an orange and go through the red, orange, go through the next red sticking up, so that as I peyote stitch around, or as I add the one bead between each of these beads, that will give me my 8 beads that I need to start doing the peyote stitch. so that when I come around, now I'm ready to do my 3 rows of peyote stitch and then start actually decreasing like I did at the top of the bead there, so that you can add all the same size. You can add different sizes, you know, however you want to do it, you can do it. It's just a really simple, easy beaded bead that you can really have some fun with. So I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. If you haven't already, be sure and go to Facebook and become our friend so that you can keep up with our day-to-day activities. Check out our Etsy site, as we have some wonderful products there for sale, as well as some tutorials. And then be sure and check out our website, which is offthebeadedpathbeadstore.com. And be sure to check back next week for another fun project. And then, like I said, in a few weeks, I'm going to get started on teaching you how to make some fun new Christmas gifts. And like I said, this is going to be one of them. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.